Thank you again so much for the invite to do this call. I think it's really important. You know, oftentimes our Saturday calls revolve around concepts about marketing or motivation and things of that nature. And those things obviously are very, very important. But you know, I was thinking as far as a topic matter to do this discussion about, I never really heard anyone explain the compensation plan on a Saturday call. And I think that's so important because it's really important to understand exactly how we're paid, where the money's coming from, why it's coming there, and all those kind of things. And I tend to get a lot of questions revolving around the comp plan. So I thought it would be a great topic matter to dive into. So I'll go ahead and do that and jump right in. You know, what I love about our compensation plan is there's really something here for everybody. It doesn't matter if you just want to earn your wine for free, if you want to make a couple hundred extra bucks a month or a week, or even 4 or 5 figures per week. You know, it doesn't matter what your goals are, and whatever your goals are completely up to you, but there's something here to help you to do just that. So anyway, I'm going to give a basic description of how we're paid, and again, why we're paid, and how to maximize the earnings. We have a very evolved compensation plan here. What I mean is, you know, with other network marketing companies, some companies are just a binary and some companies are just a unilevel, and we're a very unique hybrid of both, and each of the facets of the comp plan, they serve different purposes. So I'm going to get into that, and again, how to maximize each facet of those. So let me see here. Yeah, I guess I'll start with, you know, the first portion of our compensation plans, or our compensation plan. It's really meant to help someone to earn money quickly. You know, for the new individual, the new brand partner that wants to roll up their sleeves and get to work, there's money on the short end of things to where they can get rewarded for that work very, very quickly. And that's important. I know, you know, I've been around network marketing for 25 years now. And one of the old sayings that I've always heard is, be here in a year, as far as advice to the new person. And that's true here. I mean, you know, with any business, to develop a long-term residual income, you have to stick around residually. You have to be around for a while if you want to earn long-term residual income. But a lot of times in these other companies, what they mean by be here in a year is, even if you do get to work, you're not going to make any real money until you've been here for 6 or 9 or 12 months. And that's just simply not the case here. For those that get to work right away, there's money right away here. And I love that about our comp plan. The latter portions of the comp plan really kind of are geared towards that long-term residual income kind of thing. So yes, I am, Stacy, going to explain the binary. I'm going to explain all the facets right now. So to start with, there's basically 2 income generating activities that you're going to be participating in here at Direct Cellars to earn income. One is you're going to be recruiting new brand partners, and you're also going to be acquiring customers. Both of those things generate business volume, and business volume is what we are paid on in the comp plan. So I'm going to start right away with the fast start. I'm going to do a screen share. And you guys can let me know if you can see this okay. Here we go. Oops, that's not it. 1 second. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, you guys can see that okay, right? Okay, so this is the brand new PDF that we have that explains the comp plan. And I'm going to start, let's see here, right with the fast start bonus. Let me scroll up here and find that. Here we go. Okay, so one of the things I love about what we do here at Direct Cellars is it's very easy to earn your initial investment back and or get money ahead, even within your first week for those that want to get to work right away. So for example, so the first thing is the fast start bonus. So when you sign up a new premium wine lover at the one-time fee of $249.95, you get a 50% fast start bonus on that. So that'll be $125 immediately paid to your vault. Or if you sign someone up at the Premium Wine Lover Elite, it's $499.95, one-time fee, you immediately get $250 rewarded to you for your efforts for sponsoring them. So I love that because you know, depending upon what level you come in at and the level of the person that you're sponsoring, you're able to get back to even, financially speaking, with 1 or 2 reps that you sign up. And that's great because, you know, people can do that their very first week. Not only are you back to even financially, but you have 4 bottles of wine or 12 besides the finances. You basically get that for free because you're money ahead financially and you have this wine. So it's really easy to get back to even. And I love that here. And another thing I want to point out about the fast start bonus, this seems to be a point of confusion to some people, and I want to make sure it's clear. This is an indefinite part of the comp plan. So it doesn't matter how long you've been in. It's not like this is only available for your first week or your first month in the business. If you've been in for 5 years, if you sponsor someone, you get a 50% upfront commission. So that's a permanent part of the comp plan, regardless of how long you've been in or how many people you put in. So that's extremely generous, and I love that portion of the comp plan, because if someone needs to make $500 this week, all they have to do is put in 2 Premium Wine Lover Elites, and they're able to do that. So that's fantastic. Now, as far as other upfront commissions, another thing that we just very recently added is this new customer acquisition bonus. So when you sign up a new VIP customer, you're able to earn $20 immediately per customer upfront that you sign up. So not only do you sign up 3 customers and you get your wine for free, you're also getting an actual cash bonus right away with each customer that you sign up. And again, that doesn't stop at 3. If you put in, you know, 5, 10, 20 customers, however many you put in, you get $20 per each customer. So there's some other nuances to that that I'm just going to let go by right now because it doesn't really matter. The important thing is just to know that you get that cash bonus up front. So there is cash available for someone right away when they get to work. It's not dependent upon what anyone else does or how many people they, you know, bring in, whether it be customers or premium wine lovers. It's completely dependent upon your efforts for that upfront cash. So I love that. Now, the dual team pay, also known as the binary. Well, this is really where you're strategizing with how you're putting people into your business, whether it be customers or brand partners. No matter who you're bringing in, this is the part that requires you to pay attention to where you're putting them. The unilevel, the check match, and things like that, and the fast start for that matter. All those things take care of themselves. You don't really need any strategy to take advantage of that. The binary is where you want to strategize how you put people in and where you place them. And it's a very simple strategy to maximize your earnings. So I'm going to make sure I go through that. So as you can see, the percentage of commission that you receive in the binary or in the dual team, that's based upon your rank. Again, it's not based upon what anyone else does. It's only based on what you do. And it's going to go anywhere from 6 to 20%, as you can see, and that's based on referring to brand new brand partners or up to 9. 9 active brand partners that you personally referred is how you maximize and get the 20% commission off the binary volume. The first thing I want to say about the binary is the business volume that is attributed to the binary. It's the first dollars that anyone ever spends with the company, whether it be a brand partner or a customer. The first dollars that they spend, the business volume that is derived based off their first dollars, is what is put into the binary. Any secondary dollars, meaning, you know, the second time they order or additional case orders or anything like that, all of those things, the business volume generated by those purchases or sales are deposited somewhere else. So we'll deal with that in a minute. Let's try to compartmentalize that and just deal with each thing individually. So again, this is the first dollar someone spends with the company, and you're going to get 6 to 20%. You're building 2 sales teams. You're building a left leg and a right leg. That's it. Okay, so some people call one of the legs your money leg, and I'll get into that kind of as I explain this. But to become qualified to earn in the binary, you have to personally recruit 2 brand new brand partners that are active, meaning they come in at the 249 level or the 499 level, and they're automatically active. So that's how that works. And you want to put 1 person in your left leg and 1 person in your right leg. And it's very easy in your back office to determine which one is your preferred placement. And you can consult with your upline leader or your sponsor to determine how to do that if you're not aware of it. But it's very easy to do that. Push of a button, you can determine if they go in your left leg or your right leg. So you want 1 person in each. Now you're qualified immediately to earn 6% on your weaker leg volume. So I'm gonna use the example of 20% because it's easy math for one thing, and it's not difficult to find 9 brand partners. I mean, how many people out there do you hear complaining about their job, or they're not happy with their boss, or how much they're paid, or things like that? There's a lot of people miserable out there that aren't opposed to making side hustle income, making some more money. So it's just a matter of, it's as hard or as easy as you're looking at it. I know I find people everywhere. If I'm mindlessly scrolling Facebook, I see people all the time complaining about their boss, their job, their income, their bills, their debt, whatever. So it's not difficult. So anyways, again, for the purposes of this example, I'm going to talk about, let's say you personally sponsored 9 individuals. You're maxing out the comp plan at 20% now for the binary. So what happens is you're going to just put some people on your left and some people on your right that you personally bring in. And I would recommend that you have at least 2 in each leg as you're building towards a 9, because you want that insurance person. Like, for example, if you put 1 person in your right, but your right is growing like crazy because either they're doing a great job or you're getting spillover from your upline, so therefore you put everyone else in your left. You don't want to just have 1 in your right, because what happens if the credit card doesn't go through, or the bank doesn't approve it that month, even if they do have the money, because something goofy happens technology wise. You never want to leave it all 1 person. So you always want an insurance person. So I would always recommend having a minimum of 2 in each leg before you start implementing any strategy towards maximizing the profits, just to have that insurance there. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you know what I mean there. But So let's say, for example, I'm going to use different numbers than what's on the screen here because it's just easier math for me. But you can put it in your calculator any way you want to come up with your own examples. But let's say you have 1,500 business volume in one leg and 1,000 in business volume in your weaker leg. And let's also say you're earning 20% on your weaker leg volume. So this is paid on a weekly basis. And what happens is you'll get 20% of the lesser leg. So if you have 1,000 business volume in your lesser leg volume, you're going to get 20% of that in your paycheck, which is $200. So that means you've monetized 1,000 business volume in each leg. Another thing is that I just want to mention is, you know, some people are talking about, where I hear people talk about, well, if you're not getting paid on your strong leg volume, what's the point of that? Why would you not just focus on your weaker leg volume? Well, it pays on a 1-to-1 ratio. So without, you know, a minimum of 1,000 in your strong leg, you're not going to get paid on 1,000 in your weak leg. So it's equally as important, because without that 1,000, you're not getting paid on 1,000 on your weak leg. So, you know, both are critically important. So it is important to build 2 strong legs. So let's say you have 1,500 in one leg, like I said, 1,000 in the other. You monetize that 1,000, so you get 20% of that. That's $200. That means you have 500 left in your stronger leg. So what happens to that, since you didn't monetize that? What happens is that gets carried over into the following week. So 1,000 will be deducted from your weak leg. 1,000 will be deducted from your strong leg. You've just earned $200. There's 500 left here. So where does it go? It gets carried over and gives you a jump start into the next week. So that's how it works. And it remains there, and it remains being carried over from week to week to week until you do monetize it. Oftentimes at the beginning of your business, if you're just starting, your weak leg and your strong leg will switch from week to week. I know when I first started, that was absolutely the case. You know, one week my left leg would be stronger in terms of volume. The next week my right leg was. And this happened, you know, back and forth. And it doesn't matter. You know, the only thing that defines if one is your strong leg or your weak leg is based upon how much volume you have in that leg that particular week. So it gets carried over. Now, what else can I say about the binary? I think that pretty much is sufficient. That explains, you know, how we're paid on it. Well, let me talk about strategy. So some people also ask, you know, where should I put someone, in my left leg or my right leg? Well, again, it's a variable question. It depends upon that particular week. So what I always suggest, and this strategy has worked beautifully for my wife and I, Sherry. This is what we've always done from day one, is we would look in the back office. And by the way, you need to know your numbers. If you're not tracking your numbers, you're not running a business. You need to know where you stand with your sales volume and with your numbers. So, you know, I would strongly suggest checking there every single day, you know, because you never know who's bringing in who or what kind of spillover you got from upline. So be very aware of your numbers at all times. You know, I could tell you right now exactly how much volume I have in each leg, and that's not because I was preparing for this call. It's because I'm always aware of the numbers in a leg. So be aware of that. So anyway, the way you strategize is on any particular week, if one leg is weaker than the other in terms of volume, let's say your left leg has 1,500 and your right leg has 1,000, like the example I just used. Well, if that were the case, as I'm sitting here right now and I'm bringing in either a new customer or a new brand partner, I'm going to put them on the leg that is the weaker leg in terms of volume. It doesn't matter how many people are in each of the legs, because we're not paid on people. You're paid on business volume. It depends upon what the business volume level is. So if I have a leg that has 1,000, another one that has 1,500, the next person I bring in, my preferred placement is going to be set to the right. So that volume will be counted there since it is paid on a 1-to-1 ratio. So, if you bring, let's say if you bring in a new elite wine lover and that yields 200 in personal volume, or business volume, I should say. Well, that 200, not only are you getting 250 up front and from the fast start, the 50% commissions, you're now getting 20% of the 200 business volume that's generated. So you're getting an extra $40 on your paycheck because you put them in your weak leg. If you put them in the strong leg, you wouldn't monetize that. It would be carried over because it's not matched on your weak leg. So the strategy is as simple as that. You're going to look at your weakest leg volume, and that's where your next personal customer and or brand partner is going to go in order to maximize the comp plan. So really that's it as far as the binary is concerned. It's that simple. And that's the only strategy kind of concept you have to have. Like I said, everything else takes care of itself. You don't have to worry about where people are placed or anything like that. It's only in the binary. So now I'm going to move on to the unilevel. Let me grab a drink here, guys. The unilevel, it pays down to 9 levels. If you personally brought in one person, one business partner, you're not able to earn in the binary, as we've already discussed. It takes 2 people, one on your left, one on your right. So we're going to compartmentalize now the unilevel. If you bring in one, you're earning 10% of the business volume here on your first level. And when you bring in 2, now you're earning 5% on your second level and 10% on your first. When you sponsor 3 brand partners, now you're earning down to 3, all the way down to 9. So you're as this tree develops, you're earning these different percentage levels as listed on a PDF for each of these levels for every month. And again, this is from their second dollars that they spend with the company, not the first. The first dollars get put into the binary. The second order and beyond all gets placed into the unilevel. So this is where the residual income aspect starts kicking in, because the fast start and the binary again helps to reward the person that's getting to work right now. You do something this week, you get paid this week based upon the fast start and the binary. The unilevel and the check match, which I'll get to in a moment, this is what you're working toward. The ultimate dream of network marketing is to build that walk away residual income to where whether you personally produce this particular week or month or not, you still have money coming in, that residual income. So that's the ultimate dream of network marketing. And also I want to say this before I explain the unilevel further. The way it's designed is when you first get started, the bulk of your income is going to come from the fast start and the binary. That's where that's what constitutes the majority of your paycheck every week. Because until you've been in at least 30 days, the unilevel isn't even applicable, because this all begins with their second order or beyond. So, the bulk of your income at the beginning comes from the first 2 aspects. That's why I said our comp plan is so evolved and so unique, because it's funding you, it's paying you for your efforts while you're building toward the long-term residual aspect of our comp plans. And again, a lot of companies don't have that. It's one or the other. So this is very unique. And in fact, it's what attracted me to come here to Direct Cellars. The compensation plan and the way it's designed was a huge factor in me deciding to move here. Not to mention, of course, that it's wine. And we're dealing with a product that is very widely marketable and everyone loves. So anyways, I digress. Back to the unilevel. Some people ask, I've been asked this a lot, if 9 personal brand partners maximizes you here in the binary, it maxes you out at 20%, and 9 brand partners maximizes you here on the unilevel to where you get paid through all 9 levels, what is the incentive to go beyond 9 people? Well, like, besides a couple insurance people, like I mentioned earlier, what would encourage someone to want to do that? Well, what encourages you is, see this right here where it says unlimited width? Every brand partner and every customer that you personally bring in, they go on your first level of the unilevel to unlimited width. Like the binary is too wide, right? You put one on your left, one on your right, that's it. And then everyone filters in underneath those 2 legs. Well, the unilevel is unlimited width. And that's why there's no spillover from upline for the unilevel. It's only dependent upon what you have created. You know, I like to think of these as distribution outlets. You know, you're building distribution models and potential volume with each person that you bring in on your first level. So, you know, if you find 9 who each find a couple, that's fine. It starts growing exponentially like it should. But instead of 9, what if you eventually put in 90 people? Right? That unlimited width aspect, this is how you maximize the profits. For people that think that, you know, after 9, their work is done, now it's just up to everyone else to start putting in people, they are completely misunderstanding the comp plan. Because, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I'm here for the long haul. I'm here for the long-term residual income. I want to be sitting on a beach and having money coming in month after month after month. And to do that, to maximize that, you know, you go unlimited width on your first level. And again, you don't have to strategize this. When you put someone in, you don't have to determine, well, where do I put them in my unilevel? They automatically go on your first level. There's nothing you can do about it one way or the other. So you want to go unlimited width. So once you get to 9 people, that's when the work starts. That's when you're like, okay, I'm maximizing all the percentages and every aspect of the comp plan. Now let's get to work. And you want to go unlimited width. So you should be extra motivated to continue with personal production after you put in your 9, because that's where the big money really starts. So I hope you get that. It's really important for people to understand that you have to continue personal production. You can't go into management mode and say, I did my job, I'm maximizing all the percentages, I got my 9, now let's hope everyone else blows it up. That's not the way that it works. After you get 9, it's like, okay, now I'm maximizing the income. Now we got to get to work and go unlimited width on the unilevel. That's where the magic is. So I hope you get that. That's where you should become extremely motivated and really up your game after you get your 9 and really go crazy with personal production. So I hope you get that. And you can play with the numbers and percentages and kind of see that for yourself. Once you start exponentially taking advantage of, you know, 20 people in your first level instead of 9, those numbers add up a lot more quickly. And again, a residual portion of this is why most of us do this. So anyways, so you're going to get to 9 levels with your 9 people. You're going to go to unlimited width, and beginning with their second order and beyond, that's where all these dollars get funneled into, and you're getting a percentage of all this. So like I can say, like, for me, it took, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 months for me personally before the residual portions of the comp plan started outweighing the quicker upfront money as far as my weekly income, what constituted the majority of it. So it takes a little while for the residual aspect to start building up. But once it does, it's so powerful. Now, as far as the check match bonus, okay, there's a couple things I want to say about this real quick. It's not really a check match. It's a commission match. And what I mean, the distinction I'm trying to make is, for example, so let's say if I put in Joe and Tina Gonzalez, which I did, and they're great leaders in this company. Well, let's say if their entire check is, I don't know, I'm just throwing a number out there to give you guys an example. I'm not telling you what they make or what they don't make. But let's say their check this week is $4,500, okay? I don't necessarily get 10% of their entire check. I'm getting a 10% check match based off of what they're earning from the binary and the unilevel. I'm not getting matched on what they're earning from the fast start. I'm not getting matched on what they're earning from their match. I'm getting matched on what they're earning from the binary and the unilevel. So if they're earning, say, $4,500 this week, just from the binary and the unilevel portions of it, I get a 10% check match. So above and beyond everything else I make, I get an extra $450 just based off of them. And that's designed, and by the way, that doesn't come out of what they make. That's a bonus to me for helping them to build that kind of income for themselves and building that kind of volume for the company. It's much like a management bonus. If you look at it, like let's say for insurance, for example, you have a manager who has a bunch of agents. If the manager is good and he teaches these agents how to produce great business volume for the company, the manager will get a certain, match on what each of these agents are earning. That's his motivation to wanting to educate and to motivate these agents to do really well. He's getting a match on the volume that they create. So that's the way we do it here as well. And when I first looked at this plan, I was blown away that there's a 4-generation check match with this company. There may be other companies out there that do that. I've been around this thing for a while, like I said, for 25 years, network marketing. I've never seen it. So if there are, there's not a whole bunch. In my previous company, it just matched on the first person. But what that does is that encourages you to work in depth. As Joe and Tina bring someone in, who brings someone in, who brings someone in. I'm getting a match on all of their income. Not only is the volume contributing to what I'm being paid in the binary and the unilevel by their efforts, but I'm also being matched on their actual income 4 generations deep. That is extremely generous, and it's rare in our industry that it does this. So, you are definitely encouraged to work in depth and help people to become successful and earn good income in depth, not just the people that you bring in. So it's just an unimaginable comp plan. I've never seen someone or a comp plan that's so generous and it pays in so many different facets. Again, I want to recap real quick. The fast start bonus and the binary. The binary is where you strategize the most as far as, am I putting them on my left leg or my right leg? And by the way, when you do that, please make sure that you're paying attention to that, because you don't want to switch legs. You don't want to I wish this person would have been on my left leg, not my right leg. Pay attention to that. Again, it's your business. You need to be very cognizant as to where you have your preferred placement set. You know, if I'm bringing in another rock star, I'm not going to put them in my strong leg or accidentally have my placement there. You want to pay attention to the details and be like, I need to switch my placement right now. That way, the next person that comes in gets put into my weak leg. You know, be proactive about that. Pay attention to what you're doing because it's really important. And to call corporate and be like, I need to switch legs. I need to have this person switched over to the other one. I made a mistake. You can imagine as they grow to 40, 50,000 brand partners and beyond, that would get a little bit overwhelming for them to try to do that. Plus, they want to keep the integrity of the downline. If people start switching people indiscriminately because they weren't paying attention and weren't doing their job as the CEO of their own business, but that can get very confusing for corporate. It will affect other people's incomes because it'll detract from volume from one side and put it in another, and it affects, you know, different people's incomes, and it just becomes too complicated. So pay attention to that. So anyway, the fast start and the binary, that's where the first dollars are being placed. That's how you're getting paid for your efforts right away. Your unilevel and the check match, that's more of the longer term residual income, and that's what you're building towards. So, and again, this is where the unlimited width is so important in the unilevel. I can't stress that enough. After 9, that's when you really want to get to work and try to maximize that. Now, what they've added, as if this wasn't all fantastic enough to reward us for selling wine club memberships, they added in Vegas at our last convention, they added a car bonus and an ambassador program. And the car program is simply this. Once you have 30,000 in monthly business volume being generated in your unilevel, and it doesn't matter what level they're at, just the accumulation of all the volume from levels 1 through 9. Once you hit 30,000, and you do that for 3 consecutive months, at that point you qualify for the car program, and corporate will give you a $500 allowance towards a vehicle of your choice. And they offer what? Mercedes, Cadillac, BMW, Lexus, or Tesla. That's the 5 choices. And it needs to be a silver vehicle because they're, you know, branding themselves for that. So anyways, I know Sherry and I, we got a new Mercedes is what we got. We chose to go with that. And well, actually, wait, let me say this. So 30K qualifies you for $500 a month. 60K in accumulated volume in the unilevel qualifies you for $750 a month. And that's a 36-month, either lease or purchase, whichever you want. It's completely up to you. So we qualify for the higher level. So we got our Mercedes from that car program. And there's been, I don't know, 10 of us or so that's qualified so far. And there's going to be hundreds and hundreds and eventually thousands more people that qualify for this as the company grows. So the car program is a great addition to, you know, all the financial side of things. And then the ambassador program they added too. And what that means is this. 50,000 in accumulated volume in your unilevel will yield you a 1% ambassador bonus. Now, this is the only thing that's paid monthly. I mean, obviously the car program is paid monthly, but the ambassador program is paid monthly, a cash bonus for you, and you get 1% if it's 50K, 2% if it's 100K, 3% if it's 200,000 or more. So what this means is if you're right at 50,000 for 3 months in a row, you're now considered to be an ambassador, and you're getting 1% extra of that 50,000. So you're getting a $500 cash bonus. If it was 50,000 even, you're getting a $500 cash bonus on top of everything else just once a month. And there you go. If you're at 100K or above, you get 2%. So that's 2,000 minimum cash bonus monthly, just thrown into your weekly paychecks. And if you get to the 200K level and beyond, you're getting 3%, which means a $6,000 per month bonus on top of everything else. So the car program and the ambassador program was a great addition. And again, that helps motivate people to go to unlimited width on the unilevel, because that's how you're going to faster accumulate these kinds of volumes. So that's really the comp plan in a nutshell. I mean, we can go into it much, more, but that's kind of it in a nutshell. And I don't know, we might have time for, one or two questions if I kind of, glazed over something without explaining it too well. But anyways, Jim, I'm going to turn it back over to you. And is there anything that you can think of that you would like me to mention about any of those particular things, or?
No, Derrick, that was amazing. It's so good to have you on here, like a proper comp plan expert to take everyone through. Like you said, I think we've got time for a couple of questions. If people do have questions, then put it in the chat, put it in the Q&A section. What Melinda's saying, actually, this is not really a comp plan question. Where do we find the recording of this video? So we do record all of our calls, and we will get this up probably Monday in the Direct Cellars official group. You can find the replay for this. Obviously, this is going to be a super useful resource going forward. So make sure you do look out for that. Lynn Phillips is asking, is only level 1 on the uni level unlimited width?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, by the way. I just realized. Okay. Yeah, so it's unlimited width as far as your personal efforts, but it's unlimited width on each level. I mean, there's no cap, in other words. Like level 2 doesn't stop at 300 wide. It'll continue on as much as it needs to. And again, that speaks towards the exponential component of the unilevel of why you want to go so wide on your first level. So there is no cap in width. Just like, okay, so the binary, it caps out at 9 levels deep, right? You don't get paid on your 10th person or your 11th or whatever. But that's where it stops, at 9 levels deep. But the unilevel, excuse me, I misspoke. I'm so sorry. The binary is unlimited depth that you get paid on. That's why it's only 2 wide, but it's unlimited depth. Someone could be 2,000 people down from you in one of those legs, and if it's in your weaker leg, you're getting 20% of the business volume that's generated. That's why it's so powerful. But the unilevel, it only pays down to 9 levels in depth, but it's unlimited width. Notice how that's opposite of the binary. The binary maxes out at 2 wide for you personally, but unlimited depth. The unilevel is unlimited width, but it pays down to 9 levels. And that brings me up to this. I do want to mention this. I failed to say this, Jim, and it's a huge deal. They added something called compression when they made these other announcements in Vegas. And what I mean by compression is, let's say, for example, someone on your first level quits that you brought in, but there's 8 people under them in a direct line, okay? They brought in someone who brought in someone who brought in something down to 9 levels. Now, all of a sudden, you're only getting paid on 8, right? Because someone quit in that particular lineage that was created by you putting in that first person. Well, the company said, you know what? We want to make sure that people are compensated appropriately, and we don't want people to be penalized when someone quits in terms of what that means for them in the unilevel. So what happens is number 2 would compress up to 1, 3 would go to 2, all the way down to where 10 would go to 9. So you're still getting paid down all through 9 levels in the unilevel. But that's only in regards to us being paid, the compensation. It does not mean, let's say, like for example, let's say if I sponsored Jim, I sponsored you into Direct Cellars. Let's say if you brought in 5 people and all of a sudden you fell off the face of the earth, you quit. It happens. It's life. It's just the way it works. So do those 5 people come up to me as far as being personally sponsored? Does that mean I now have 5 personally sponsored people instead of 1 because you quit and it compressed up to me? The answer is no. It does not help towards rank, but it helps towards your actual paycheck, which is what matters. Because, like I said, it's not hard to maximize the rank. It takes 9 people. There's lots of people out there that aren't happy with what they're making, like I said. So it's easy to find 9. But brand partners, by the way, not customers. That's what ranks you up, is brand partners. But so, Jim, your 5 people would move up to my level 1 for the sake of how we're paid on a weekly basis and the unilevel bonus, but it doesn't count for me towards rank. That's also a very common question that I wanted to make sure was addressed. So, this is important because, once your group grows to, a significant amount, let's say your 2nd person quit, your 4th person quit, and maybe person on level 9 quit. Well, now you're just getting paid in that particular lineage on 6 instead of 9. Well, that's, a 33% reduction on what you're being paid. And the company thought that wasn't fair. So they're compressing everyone up to make sure you're paid on all 9 levels in depth. And I love that. I mean, that speaks to the spirit of the company, that they're always making sure that we aren't being gypped, or that there's no gotchas in the comp plan to where they're pocketing more and we're out a little bit because of these, gotchas, which is unfortunately kind of commonplace in network marketing. Here, they're always looking for ways to make sure that we're getting paid what we've earned, what we're supposed to be paid. So I love the compression feature, and that's, I guess, answers that.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's a super useful point. Definitely. We've got probably one more question up here. How do you put a customer into your weaker leg? I believe you said something about back office.
Yeah. You just go to your preferred placement in your back office, and you're going to choose left leg or right leg. And whether they come in as a customer or a brand partner, either way, the system, the software system, doesn't treat it any differently as far as where they are placed. So, that's why I said, if I'm looking at my back office right now, and I have, I'll just say, I'll use the same example, 1,500 in one leg and 1,000 in the other leg. I'm going to proactively make sure my preferred placement is set on the 1,000 leg, and the next person I bring in, whether it be a customer or a brand partner, they're going to go in that leg. So yeah, that is another unique feature, that, customers get placed into the binary. And then there's this fear of loss campaign that happens. They're getting emails like, hey, your business is growing, your leg is growing, and they'll be like, it is? Like, I'm not even doing anything. I'm just a customer. I can monetize all of this activities that's occurring, below me. So that's pretty neat. I love that aspect as well. But yeah, it's no different than a brand partner. You're going to choose left or right leg based upon, again, proactively, which one is the weaker leg. Have it set there and don't change it until, it flip-flops. And whether it be a customer or a brand partner, that's where they're going to
go. Awesome. And Melinda's asking, where can we find the new comp plan PDF? So that is in your back office. So if you check out your back office, there's a ton of resources, one of which is this new comp plan PDF. And there's a comp plan snapshot, and then there's a more in-depth comp plan as well.
Yep.
Derrick, I want to thank you so much for your time this morning. There were a couple of other questions, but I would direct them to your upline sponsor. Make sure you ask questions if you have them. To compliance, I know compliance are always definitely up for answering any questions that you may have about anything, including the comp plan. So Derrick, I want to thank you so much for taking us through this topic this morning. This is a super useful talk for everyone in the business, and it was a pleasure listening. I want to thank everyone who joined us as well, gave us some of your time this morning. Make sure you check out the replay. Obviously, it should be up by Monday, and you can refer back to that. So Derrick, thank you so much.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
And we will see everyone next time. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thanks. See you guys.